As frustrating a game as I can remember, the St. Louis Cardinals, against all odds, figure out a way to get shut out again by the Pittsburgh Pirates. Roll the intro.
You are Locked On Cardinals, your daily St. Louis Cardinals podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey there, Cardinals fans. I'm JD Hafford, and I'm your host for Locked On Cardinals, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, covering your team every day. Follow me on X at JD Sports Radio, the podcast also on X at LO_Cardinals. We're on YouTube, if you didn't know that. Make sure you stop on by, like, subscribe, and comment. Hit that notification button. You can also find us on TikTok and Instagram. This is a show serving Cardinal Nation and giving the best fans in baseball all of the info about the birds on the bat. Today's episode being brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. So there are games that you lose where you have to throw your hands up in the air and say, hey, good job. Good job to the other team, man. They went out there. They outplayed us. They beat us. They deserve to win the game. There are games that you have no business winning, and you just get hammered by your opponent, like Monday, for instance. And you say, hey, we gotta shake it off, man. You know, sometimes things just don't go your way. We'll get them next time. No big deal. What we saw on Tuesday was neither of those. What we witnessed on Tuesday night was a complete failure by the St. Louis Cardinals offense in just about every way that you can screw up to not win a baseball game. These are the games that make me want to drink. And I'm not talking about a seltzer out by the pool. I'm talking about bourbon. Neat. And just drink. Golly, was this one a frustrating game to watch. You know, you look at the mistakes that were made. How many times have we said the little things? The Cardinals, when they do the little things right, they are a good team. They were not a good team on Tuesday night. The inability, this is on the offensive side, the inability to hit in key situations, to hit a fly ball in a key situation, the inability to lay down a simple bunt, the inability to read a soft liner off the bat, the inability to slide into the base after you misjudge said line drive. The inability of a third base coach to know when to send a runner. The third base coach, same guy who basically made the exact same mistake against the exact same team, against the exact same left fielder, and gets another runner thrown out by a mile at home plate. The St. Louis Cardinals are not good enough to overcome crap like this. They're just not. And it bit them in the butt and cost them a win on Tuesday. Make no mistake, the Pittsburgh Pirates, yeah, they get the W. They didn't win this game. The St. Louis Cardinals lost this game. They gave it to the Pittsburgh Pirates. And to do it in a game against a talent like Paul Skeens, to battle him as tough as they did for the 5 innings that he was around, and to waste an outstanding effort by Andre Pallante, it just adds to the misery of it all, which was a 1-0 loss in Pittsburgh. And when you get blanked by the Pirates and Paul Skeens is the starter, you would think that Skeens had a great day, that he dominated your lineup, which is something he's been known to do against people. That is not what happened on Tuesday. The Cardinals wore that dude down. Now, Paul Skeens wasn't bad. He was good. But the Cardinals battled him and made him work, and he was gone after 5 innings. He was exhausted, wiped out. And the way that they were working him, forcing him into deep counts, fouling pitches off, not chasing things, it was awesome to watch. And it seemed like a matter of time before they were going to finally break him. The problem was when they had the chances to finally do that, they didn't capitalize on them. I'm going to take you through. There's a bunch of spots in this game where the Cardinals were set up for success and failure ensued instead. First inning, Mason Wynn, 2-out double. Or not a 2-out double, 1-out double. Grounder moves him over. Can't get the 2-out hit, but that's not a huge thing. That happens. It's okay. I'm not bashing that one. Third inning, back-to-back singles by Victor Scott and Donnie. You got first and third and nobody out with one of the fastest guys in the league standing on third base. All you need is a fly ball. Nothing fancy. Doesn't have to be anything super deep. Shallow stuff's going to get Victor Scott in 99% of the time. But Wynn has an unproductive out, strikes out on 4 pitches. Alec Burleson then hits a soft line drive to the shortstop. At no point did it look like that was going into the outfield. Like the shortstop hardly had to move. And somehow Brendan Donovan gets too far off of first base and gets doubled up. I had to go back and check because I was like, was he running on the play? Maybe that was something. No, he just went too far off the base. And then I don't know why he didn't slide into first base when he was coming back. He just stayed standing and tried to hang on to the bat. I don't what the hell was that? And then he kind of put his arms up like he didn't. I don't know what happened. I don't know if he lost sight of it. I don't know. But it was weird. It was terrible base running all around by him. But the Cardinals can't get the ball out of the infield. Skeens escapes. Fourth inning, Wilson Contreras gets hit on the hand. 14th time he's been hit on the year. And it always feels like he's getting hit up and in on the hands and the arms. And he's sick of it. That's why he was chirping at the Cubs when he got hit in that game. And he's pissed. You can tell. Trainers have to come out and check on him. He stays in the game for now. Nolan Gorman singles. Now you got first and second. Nobody out for Jose Fermin, who's in because Nolan Arenado is dealing with a jammed finger. And Fermin attempts to lay down the sack bunt. Smart play in theory, right? Move the guys over. You're playing for 1 run because this is Paul Skeens you're going up against. I get it. But instead, he pops it up, and Skeens makes the catch. Popped out to the pitcher on a bunt attempt. 1 out, no movement, unproductive at bat. And I'm not saying that Paul Skeens is an easy guy to bunt against. I'm not. I'm sure it's quite difficult. Dude's awesome. But it's just one of those fundamental things that you'd expect a Major League Baseball player to be able to do more times than not. And yet not many of them, like it's not just the Cardinals, not many people around the league actually are all that good at bunting. But Fermin can't get the bunt down, so they basically just gave him an out. Newt then has an unproductive at bat. He flies out to right field to bring in Pedro Pages. And that's when one of the most deja vu type of plays goes down, and the similarities are staggering. We're going to relive the pain together. Come with me. We'll do it here in just a moment on Locked On Cardinals. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? That's a real question. Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money is not just a budgeting app. It is a complete financial command center. You're going to be able to track all of your accounts, your investments, and spending, and you're going to get to do it all in one place so you can stop just managing your money and start building wealth. And I know it's very convenient and it's very easy, but you may not realize just how much money you're actually spending on things like food delivery. All right. We take that for granted because it's so easy to just hit the app or dial up whoever we want. Hey, bring me food. I'm hungry. Now you'll be able to budget smarter and save more. And instead of juggling multiple apps, you can use Monarch Money to check your finances, track your spending, and even plan long-term goals. And if you're married or you have a partner, it makes managing money with them smoother than ever. You can track shared and personal accounts. You can set goals together, and you get to do it without all the stress. So take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code locked on MLB for half off your first year. Thank you again for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen every day. Leave your comments on YouTube as well as on X anytime you want. Your feedback is always welcome and encouraged. Now, stop me if you've heard this one before. Cardinals at the Pirates. Score 0-0. Runner on second. Pedro Pages at the dish. Gets a base hit to left field where Tommy Pham is waiting. He scoops it with ease. Throws out the runner attempting to score at home plate by quite a bit. Inning is over. Do you know why that sounds familiar? It's because the Cardinals did the same damn thing on the same damn field with the same damn score with the same damn hitter in Pages at the plate and the same guy, Tommy Pham, in left field in an eerily similar situation on April the 9th. This has already happened. There is a glitch in the matrix because this happened already on April the 9th. The differences here is that Michael Ciani was the runner on second that day in April. This time, on July 1st, you have a much slower runner in Wilson Contreras. He's not a snail by any means, but 48th percentile sprint speed, he is below average. That's just the truth. And the ball in April wasn't hit nearly as hard as this ball was hit on July the 1st. This time the ball goes off the bat at 103 miles per hour. And Tommy Pham is in left field. You guys know Tommy Pham. He was on your team last year. You know how accurate his arm is. He already showed you on April the 9th. This time Pham fields it a little bit deeper, probably, 10 feet deeper. But everything else is almost identical. Pop Warner, he's over at third. Go, go, go. Windmills him home. Runner gets gunned by a ton. The similarities to that mistake in April and this one in July are so close, it's almost amusing. If the Cardinals had won this game, I would look back on it and probably laugh. But I'm not in a laughing mood after what I saw on Tuesday. And I said it that day, and I'm saying it again. There's a time to be aggressive. There are times for it, and I will applaud it. And then there's just being foolish. This would appear to be the latter once again. Now, if that is Victor Scott on second base, or new Cardinal superstar Garrett Hampson, who gets in almost every game now, it's wild. Or anybody with excellent speed, even Jose Fermin, if he was on second base there, I would understand sending the runner a little bit more. But not Contreras. Not your catcher turned first baseman. And the result was another momentum shift away from the Cardinals and back into the Pirates' direction. And the cherry on top of this is that Wilson ended up having to leave the game because of his hand, because of where Skeens hit him. Good news was the x-rays came back negative, but I'm sure he's going to be very, very sore. So I don't know if you're going to see him in the lineup tomorrow or Wednesday, whenever you're watching this. Gets the day off on Thursday, and then they're in Chicago, so probably not. I know he's a tough guy, but probably not. They end up, because of this, Garrett Hampson has to come into the game and is now your cleanup hitter. Burley moves to first base. So another obstacle for the Cardinals to overcome. And what's really going to bake your noodle, another Matrix reference, by the way. Another, why does that keep happening? What's really going to bake your noodle here is that if Willie had come out right away after he got hit, trainers looked at him for quite a while. If they decided, let's just get you out now and put Hampson in now. If Willie comes out right away instead of running the bases and Hampson was in instead, would Hampson have been safe at home plate? He's a much faster runner. 85th percentile sprint speed, I think is what they said. We'll never know. We'll never know. but yet another missed opportunity in the game for the Cardinals. Then we go to the 7th inning. We got another one. Jose Fermin bloops in a hustle double, which you love to see. Never gave up, even though he didn't hit it hard. He kind of hit it into that spot between the outfielders and the infielders, and he just kept running hard, dived safely into second base. Love it. New grounds out to shortstop, but Fermin, good base running here, makes a nice read and gets a good jump off of second base, and the shortstop is forced to throw it to first base instead. So he makes it to third safely with one out. Hey, how about a fly ball? Can we get a fly ball? Anybody? No. Paez strikes out. Then Victor grounds out. Threat's over. 8th inning. Donnie gets a leadoff walk. Normally, those come around to score, right? We've talked about that a lot. Mason Wynn pops out. Another unproductive at bat. Burley lines out to left. Hit it well, but it's an out. And then your new cleanup slugger, Garrett Hampson, he ends up getting a walk, but Gorman flies out. Got a good swing on it, but nothing happens. Inning over. And then finally we get to the 9th inning and the crescendo of crap for the Cardinals in this one. Cardinals are down 1-0 at this point, and they get another leadoff walk. This time it's to Jose Fermin. Good speed. New flies out to center, an unproductive at bat. Bat out. Ali calls on Joel Pozo to pinch hit for Paez because Pozo is not one that strikes out all that often. He's going to put the ball in play. And he comes through again, rips a double down the line and left. And if it reaches the corner, Fermin might score. Fermin runs well, and he might have scored on that play, but it doesn't happen. It hits off that spot of the stands that jets out and goes into shallow left field instead. Ends up 2nd and 3rd. But you're in business here. 2nd and 3rd, one out. Victor Scott's up. Once again, situational hitting. All you need is a somewhat decent fly ball. Doesn't have to be super deep. Fermin runs well enough. Instead, Victor Scott chops a splitter, which was low and away. Not sure how that was the spot that you're looking for your pitch to be at, but he swings at it. It was up 2-1 in the count, too. So that's terrible. But chops it over to the first baseman. Somehow gets a splitter low and away and pulls it and chops it over to the first baseman, Spencer Horwitz, who ends up fielding it and throws out Fermin trying to score at home plate, gets reviewed. Close play. Call stands. He's out. Not mad at Fermin for going there. And I know it's a stupid play, but it's a contact play. If it's on, if they say contact play here, on the ground, you're running on contact. If that's what they were doing, that's the way it goes. I don't always agree with that philosophy, but if that's what was going on there, then that's what he was supposed to do. He made a great sliding attempt, trying to get around the tag, but really the inability to hit a fly ball there, again, is what sucks the most. Game's not over yet, though. Now you got Brendan Donovan up, Mr. Clutch, right? 1st and 3rd, 2 outs. So still a chance, but Brendan Donovan goes down looking with the bat on his shoulder, which you just cannot have. You can't watch that. He didn't like the call. It was a strike. Just horrible. Chance after chance after chance, and they just slip right through the Cardinals' fingers because they couldn't do the little things right. Bunting, base running, situational hitting, all of it. Failures, Fs, F minuses for all of it in this game for the Cardinals. And it really stinks because they should have beat Paul Skeens again. They really made it tough for him in this game. I applaud the effort of the at-bats in the game during Skeens' time while he was pitching, because they really, really wore him out and made him work. And it was wonderful. They didn't score off of him. They had some chances, but they got him out of there by the 5th inning. So even not scoring there, it's still kind of a victory because he's gone. You know, he's not out there 7 innings mowing people down. Like, it was tough for him. And they really should have won this game. They really should have. They just didn't do the little things to put them over. Now, the one thing you can hang your hat on about this game and smile about a little bit and feel positive about is what you got from Andre Pallante. He was awesome. We're going to try and cheer things up in our final segment, talking about him next on Locked On Cardinals. Get the supplies you need from the site made for the skilled trade, Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product information to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400 plus top brands, you're going to find exactly what you need. It's going to get delivered fast from coast to coast. You won't have to worry about it. And let's say you need some help with an order. Maybe something isn't perfect the way you wanted it, or you have some questions. Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service. So you're always going to talk to a real person. It's so nice to have another human being on the line instead of talking to a computer. And for trade pros, you're looking for that extra edge. Their free Trade Master program, it offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage, and now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code SH5. That'll give you 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. Thanks again for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen today. For your second listen, check out the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night. It's every game. It's every night, all season long. Get local analysis on a national scale. You can find MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. Andre Pallante, kind of the forgotten man on the staff. Like, I sometimes forget when it's his turn in the rotation. You know, Gray and Liberatore get the headlines. Michaelis and Fetty are your whipping boys that just will never be good enough. And then there's Andre Pallante, who just goes about his business and takes the ball every fifth day. And usually, if he can avoid like the one big blow-up inning, he's going to give you a decent start. Well, he was more than decent on Tuesday. He was outstanding. Now, the Pirates, granted, have not been one of the best offensive teams in the league for most of the year. But the last 4 days leading into this game, they have bashed the Mets and the Cardinals. 37 runs in their last 4 games before Tuesday night's matchup. That's over 9 runs per game that they were averaging. Where this offense is coming from and how they found it, nobody knows. Nobody's got an answer to it. Not even Gary from Locked On Pirates can make sense of it. He's like, I don't know, but he's enjoying it. He's like, hey, let's ride the wave, and I don't blame him. Well, Tuesday, Andre Pallante shut the Pirates down. 7 innings, no runs, 1 hit, 3 strikeouts. Now, Pallante, not a strikeout guy, so you see 3 Ks, you're like, that's not very good. But when he's on, you don't see it in the K category. What you look at is the ground ball outs column. And in that column on Tuesday, it reads 13. 13 ground ball outs out of 21 outs. The Pirates were continuously just beating the ball into the ground over and over. And even with Arenado out tonight, missing your platinum glover over at third base, the Cardinals' infield defense stayed strong and kept the Pirates off the boards. At least while Pallante was in. The key here is to see if Andre Pallante can actually replicate what he was doing tonight the next time he's on the mound. All right. Consistency kind of has been an issue with Andre over his career. So if he has unlocked something and has found something and can consistently find that, great. Cardinals will be more than happy to let him do that. And he gives you the 7 shutout innings. He deserved better in this one. Cardinals had the chances. The Ollie goes to Phil Maton in the 8th inning. Are you going to bitch about Phil Maton? No. He's been really, really good for the Cardinals this year. But he comes in and everything changes. He immediately gives up a single and a double. You got Pirates at second and third with nobody out. They get a sac fly to bring in the go-ahead run. Imagine that, just hitting the ball in the air with a runner on third and less than 2 outs. Oh, what a novel idea. Then another single, but Maton's able to wiggle his way out of it, leaves the other runner stranded, but that's all it took. Couple of hits, good situational hitting. Pirates score the lone run of the game. They go on to win it 1-0. Cardinals end up going 1 for 13 with runners in scoring position in this game. Just a brutal night at the ballpark for the Cardinals outside of what you got from Andre Pallante. Just there's not a ton of other things. I feel like Jose Fermin stood out in this game a little bit, subbing in. Like, he was a part of the action. Walk, had that double. It was nice to see that. Yeah, that's what I got. That's what I got. Andre Pallante and Jose Fermin. Those are the ones you can be really proud of from what you saw tonight. Cardinals lost this game more than the Pirates actually won it. That's just my opinion, but that's how I feel. Skeen still has not beaten the Cardinals yet, but who cares, because the Pirates still won the game, and they keep rolling. That's 5 wins in a row for them. They've only allowed 4 runs during this 5-game winning streak. 4! How is that possible? These are the Pirates, right? The aliens didn't take them over. Like, this is the same team that was like 15 games under 500 before the series started, right? Right? Am I right? It's amazing. It's amazing. People go on hot streaks. People go on cold streaks. And when the Cardinals came into the series, you thought that they were going to be riding a hot streak, you know? Sweeping I almost said it. Almost said the I word. Sweeping the Guardians. But nope. They shut out again. So they've been shut out 4 times in the last week. That is not so amazing. Cardinals have Sonny Gray on the mound on Wednesday, coming off his stellar performance in Cleveland. It is a day game. Mitch Keller will take the mound for the Pirates. Record says 2-10. You and I both know Mitch Keller is a better pitcher than 2-10. ERA at 3.90. Cardinals have already faced him twice. One game, he shut him out over 7 innings early on in the season in May. Yeah, was it May? Well, whenever they were in town. Was it April? Maybe it was April. April. Shut him out for 7 innings in April. In Pittsburgh. Cardinals did beat him when they faced him in St. Louis on May 7th. So there you go. But he's much better than the record would have you believe. And you know this. Mitch Keller is a fine pitcher. Every team would love to have him. But 2-10 record, you know, some bad luck there. But because they're the Pirates, they're not supposed to be winning. He hasn't given up more than 2 runs in his last 3 starts, by the way. Did pick up his second one of the season. Over the Mets in his last start. So he's coming in throwing well. Sonny Gray's throwing well, but the Cardinals aren't hitting in these 2 games. Pirates, are they slowing down for this 3rd one? We'll see. Sonny Gray has been much better at home than he is on the road, but pitched pretty darn well in Cleveland the other night. It's just weird, man. Cardinals sweep Cleveland and now are in danger of getting swept in Pittsburgh right after that. What a sport, right? Can Sonny be the stopper? We're going to find out. First pitch will be at 11:35 St. Louis time on Wednesday. Cardinals, you made me drink tonight. You made me drink, and it was not in a fun, celebratory way. Thanks for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen every day. If you haven't already, give us a follow on X at LO_Cardinals and at JD Sports Radio. TikTok, Instagram, Locked On Cardinals. Like, subscribe on YouTube as we continue to push for 13,000 subscribers. Help us out. Help us out. If you don't subscribe already and you love Cardinals content, we got your hookup. We got your hookup, and would love to see you become a subscriber to the channel. You guys are the best fans of baseball for a reason, and we will see you next time, hopefully with a better attitude on Locked On Cardinals.